Hello, what is your name?
My name is Wayan.
Wayan, nice to meet you. Philip. And Wayan, what is this?
That's one mie goreng ayam.
Mie goreng ayam. Now, hari ini video saya music.
Ya.
Music kamu suka
Suka
apa?
sekali.
Okay.
Musik Michael and the Rock.
Rock.
Ya, Michael and the Rock.
Oh, Michael learns to rock. Very famous in Indonesia, but not famous outside. But Michael learns to rock. Michael learns to rock.
And my
Favorite, Michael learns to rock. Mereka datang tahun ini ke Bali.
Michael and the Rock.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, if I have money, I give you a ticket.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yo.
Enjoy.
Thank you too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So today we're going to be talking about a very general subject, music. And music plays a huge importance to my life, almost from beginning up to now. Anyway, we'll discuss it after I eat. See you after breakfast. So as I say, today we're going to be more looking at the lyrics of songs. First though, I'd like to discuss why music is so important to me. Well, first of all, I was born, as I say, in the 60s, brought up into the 70s, and when we were kids, when it was a very homogenous England, after Top of the Pops on Thursdays, you'd talk about the latest songs, the Mark Bolan, the Gary Glitter, and you'd sing along on the bus when you're going on Cubs trips. You'd have family favourites, you'd have DJs. Music was a part of everybody's life, and it kind of brought us all together, whether we're in England, Scotland, Wales, didn't matter. So on the whole, I'll be keeping away from the major players. We won't be discussing the Eagles or the Beatles or ABBA, you know, so I'll try and be reasonably, let's say, less obvious with my choices. But the first one I do choose is definitely somebody everybody's heard of, and it's Bob Marley. And the lyric I'm gonna choose comes from jamming. All the songs I choose, I love. So, you know, it can be fantastic lyrics, but if I don't like the song, I'm not gonna choose it. But jamming has one statement that I believe very heavily in. Life is worth much more than gold. Life is worth much more than gold. What more? What more? What beautiful lyrics, and so true. I might change life to health. It's okay being alive, but if you're not healthy. So health is worth much more than gold, but who am I to change Bob Marley's lyrics? By the way, something I learned only last week. Don't worry, be happy. My God, that was written by Bob Marley. Did you know that? See, you learn something new every day. Don't worry, be happy, Bob Marley. Let me take you to the place where membership's a smiling face. Okay, I'm not George Michael, and this isn't Wham. But in the 80s, early 80s, George and Wham became huge. And one of the reasons was, of course, they started producing music videos. Spandau Ballet, Rio, all these videos were shot abroad. Fantastic lyric. Let me take you to a place where membership's a smiling face. Well, for me, that could be Bali. Wow. And guess what? I'm living in the place where membership's a smiling face. Huge, huge hit. Well done. We love you, George. Our little mammy's boy is coming home from BFPO with a bunch of purple flowers to decorate a mammy's hero. Morning in the aerodrome, the weather's warm, but he's colder. 4 men in uniform to carry home my little soldier. Written by a 19-year-old. It almost makes me cry, those lyrics. That is Kate Bush at her best. It's called Army Dreamers. I don't know if I'm getting emotional here, but at the end of the day, she can bring the tears to my eyes, and not just that song. 19. BFPO, by the way, means British Forces Posted Overseas. Kate, how do you get those lyrics? Fantastic. I love you. I thank you for bringing me here, for showing me home, for singing these tears. Finally I found I belong here. Badly sung. Depeche Mode. Story of my life. Thank you. Thank you, Indonesia. Thank you for adopting me. My God. If there's one group I love probably more than any other, it's Depeche Mode. And thank you. For a very short lyric, life's what you make it by Talk Talk. Rest in peace, Mark. But I promise you, life is what you make it. So, lyrics standing alone are fine, but there are a few songs I'd like to just finish with that are actually a story. And the first song by Harry Chapin. Now, a lot of people would say, Cat's in the Cradle, but I'm not going to choose that one. I'm going to choose Mr. Tanner. Luckily, I'm not going to sing on this one. Mr. Tanner was a would-be opera star who gets smashed by critics, but he's still a fantastic singer. Well worth a visit. Old Harry died quite young. Brilliant lyricist. Give it a check out, Mr. Tanner. The second one I'd like to talk about is Copacabana. Barry Manilow, what can I say? I'll give a quick anecdote before I talk about this, because it reminds me, similar timeline. First year of high school, so I was 11 or 12, we were asked to bring records in to play to the class. Somebody might have brought Sex Pistols, What did I bring? What did I bring? Well, I brought When a Star Is Born by Johnny Mathis. I think everybody looked at me in a very different light after they'd found that I liked the song. But what the hell? I did like the song. I make no bones about liking the song. Let's go back to Copacabana. One thing I learned just very recently, I always thought it was set in Miami. It wasn't. It was set in New York. And there was a Lola, but she was killed, not Tony. Anyway, it tells the story of Tony. It's called Copacabana, everybody knows it. Fantastic song with great lyrics all the way through. Sinatra. But there's one song where he tells a story that I think is, it's timeless. And the song is, it was a very good year. You're talking about when I was 25, when I was 35. He talks about wine, aging, and of course it's not a Frank Sinatra song. He never wrote his song, similar to Elvis, but what a fine singer. Finally, we're going to talk about an 80s group. I could have probably chosen the Specials. I could have probably chosen Soft Cell. But instead I've chosen the Jam, and we're talking about That's Entertainment, which talks about, in many ways, the 80s Britain. But in a very, not nostalgic, a very, what's the word? Rugged way. The cry of a tomcat, the kicking the balls, but it's true and it's there and it's from the heart, the Jam. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've really enjoyed the video, and as always, don't be a sheep.